Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real English Podcast. I'm Emily.
And I'm Paul. We're so glad you're here with us today. How are you doing, Emily?
I'm doing great, Paul. Thank you for asking. How about you? Feeling ready for another fun English conversation?
Absolutely. I had my coffee and I'm excited. You know, I was thinking earlier, have you ever been lost in a new city trying to find your way?
Oh, yes, many times. I remember once in London, I couldn't find my hotel for almost an hour. It was raining and my phone battery was dying. I had to ask 3 different people for directions.
That sounds stressful. But you know what? That's actually a perfect story for today's episode because we're talking about how to ask for directions in English the right way.
Exactly. And trust me, whether you're traveling, living abroad, or just exploring a new area, this topic is super useful. So stay with us. By the end of this episode, you'll be ready to ask anyone for directions confidently.
And before we jump in, don't forget to subscribe so you can keep learning English with us every week. We have new conversations and lessons that make speaking English easier and more natural.
All right, let's get started. So, Paul, let's start simple. When someone's lost and wants to ask for help, what's the most polite way to begin a conversation?
Good question. You can start with something friendly like, "Excuse me, could you please tell me how to get to," or, "Excuse me, do you know where the nearest subway station is?" These sound polite and clear.
Yes, exactly. I like to remind our listeners that "excuse me" is key. It shows respect and helps get someone's attention in a nice way. For example, "Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the post office?"
That's perfect. And if the person wants to help, they might reply with something like, "Sure, go straight ahead, then turn left at the traffic light. You'll see the library on your right, across from the coffee shop."
Right. And sometimes they use hand gestures too, like pointing left or right. It's always good to listen carefully and maybe repeat what they said to make sure you understood.
Exactly. For example, you could say, "So I go straight and then turn left at the bank?" That helps confirm you got the directions right.
That's such an important habit for English learners, confirming what you hear. It makes communication clear and avoids confusion.
Definitely. Now, Emily, let's talk about some common phrases people might use when giving directions. For example, go straight ahead, turn right, turn left, it's next to the park, or it's across from the supermarket.
Oh, and it's on your right or it's on your left. Those are great too. They're short, but super useful when you're describing location.
Yes, and sometimes you'll hear something like, "Take the second street on your right," which means you skip the first one and turn at the next one.
Exactly. Let's make a little practice example. Imagine I'm in New York and I want to find the library. I'll ask you, okay?
All right, go ahead.
"Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the public library?"
Sure. Go straight for 2 blocks, then turn left at the traffic light. You'll see the library on your right across from the coffee shop.
Perfect. That's such a natural example. Notice how Paul used "go straight" for 2 blocks. That's how we measure short city distances in English-speaking countries.
Good point. And in smaller towns or rural areas, people might say things like "go past the church" or "keep driving until you see a gas station."
That's right. So you can adjust your words depending on where you are. Now, what if someone doesn't know the place you're asking about?
Great question. They might say, "I'm sorry, I'm not sure," or "I don't live around here." If that happens, you can thank them and try asking someone else. For example, "No problem, thank you anyway."
Politeness always makes a difference. And here's another quick tip. If you're not confident about pronunciation, Try showing the address or location name written down. That helps a lot.
Yes, and showing something on your phone, like Google Maps, makes it easier for the other person to understand exactly where you want to go.
And it's totally okay to use gestures while speaking, like pointing on the map or using your hand to show directions. It helps communicate even when your English isn't perfect yet.
Absolutely. Communication is about understanding each other, not being perfect. Okay, Emily, let's do a few more short dialogues to help our listeners practice.
Great idea. Let's do it.
Okay, dialogue 1. Excuse me, how do I get to the train station?
Go straight, then turn right at the traffic light. It's next to the shopping mall.
Dialogue 2. Excuse me, is there a pharmacy near here?
Yes, there's one across the street, beside the bakery.
Dialogue 3. Excuse me, where's the nearest ATM?
It's at the corner of the street, near the bank.
Nice. Short and simple conversations like these really build confidence.
And they're perfect for beginners. Practice them out loud. That's the best way to sound natural and comfortable.
Speaking of practice, I remember once when I was traveling in Italy, I tried to ask for directions in English. The person didn't understand me, but we both laughed and used gestures instead. It still worked.
That's a great story. Sometimes humor helps too. Even if your English isn't perfect, a smile and a positive attitude go a long way.
Definitely. Okay, Emily, before we wrap up, let's summarize what we learned today.
Sure. Number 1, always start politely with "excuse me." Number 2, listen carefully and repeat what you hear to confirm. Number 3, use common direction phrases like "go straight," "turn right," "next to," and "across from."
And number 4, don't stress about perfection. Use gestures, show the address, and communicate with confidence.
Perfect summary, Paul. So, dear listeners, next time you're lost, don't panic. Just remember today's tips and you'll be fine.
And you'll probably make a friendly connection along the way. People are usually happy to help when you ask nicely.
Exactly. All right, everyone, that's all for today's episode of the Real English Podcast.
Thanks so much for joining us. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, share it with a friend, and keep practicing your English every day.
And remember, every time you speak, you get better. Keep learning, keep smiling, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.